Everyday Peoples, what's up? I'm here with one of my boys. Came up with him 3 years ago. We met.
Yeah, it's just about.
Long story short, I'm gonna let him tell you his story, tell y'all his story. So go ahead, tell people your name, what you do.
I'm Sincerely Yourz. I'm a former aspiring hip hop artist. I say that because, it was a time where I used to run around with my CD in front of the clubs, in front of the radio stations, trying to get on. And, that era is gone now with the internet. So, hip hop, as well as everything that's going on with the industry, is just really not for me no more. But I still love to create music, so I do it in my spare time, but I wouldn't say that I'm aspiring to be, signed or, be a hip hop artist, but, it is what it is though. So yeah, I've been doing this for a minute. I ran around with the industry, rubbed elbows with people, sold dreams, had dreams sold to me. So, I'm not like somebody that just is talking shit. But at the same time, I'm a man, and you gotta have take responsibility for things around you. At some point, you can't chase your dreams, but so far, you gotta take care of your responsibility. So, that's kind of how my music sounds as well. Like I'm somebody I'm an artist that tells stories and likes to tell his story. I can't really do a song about something, a lifestyle that I'm not living. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. But I'm just doing it out of the love, I'm really not trying to be a signed artist right now.
So you do it for the love. What was that song that gave you that first love for music?
Back in the days, in the 80s, it was probably LL Cool J, one of the first artists that come to mind. My mom was big on music. She had a lot of R&B, Michael Jackson records, but here and there she had a sprinkle of like hip hop records. And I remember this one record, it was the DJ Supreme Team, and it had like a hip hop break in it. And I think from that moment on is when I really followed the culture. So I looked at who was hot at the time, and from there I started to want to do it myself, because I was always somebody that wrote poetry. And after a while the poetry started to rhyme, and then after you hear a beat, you want to do it over a beat. And that's pretty much how I got to where I'm at right now. So I would definitely say, the LL Cool J's in that era definitely influenced me.
Where you talk about beat breaks and how you writing poetry and wanting to go on the beat after so much time, so like you still got it in you.
Yeah. It's like riding a bicycle, Once you start, you never forget how to do it. But if you practice your craft, you improve in time. And I think the more life experiences you have, the more, the greater the ability to paint a picture that somebody can relate to. So that's why I feel like where I'm at right now, even back in the days, I admit that I'm not as good as I was, I'm better than I was in the past, because I feel like my experiences and the knowledge of, being a smarter artist and what to write about, what not to write about, and my brand, and just sticking to what I feel who I am, it helped me become a better writer. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to make a South record or something that's popular right now just for the sake of doing it. I'd rather just stick to what I know and what I do, and either you like it or you love it. And I really feel that's a problem with a lot of artists these days, especially in New York. They kind of lean towards doing what's hot right now, and it's sad because you see a lot of artists that were known for that New York sound, and then you hear them now, and it's like they doing records that you could hear someone from Miami or another demographic that they would do, and it's just like, damn, it's like you know, if you're a hip hop artist, it's like the food industry. You know, you got fast food, you got an industry where you can sit down and eat, and at the end of the day, you got the McDonald's and you got the Burger Kings and you got the White Castles. They competing with themselves, and then you have the high end restaurants. And I just feel like there's enough money for all of us to eat, but everybody's trying to do the same thing that everybody else is doing that's successful. And I just feel like, you know, if you stuck to what you believed in, you know, you'll eventually get your due. So I think that's definitely what's wrong with the hip-hop game right now, and the artists in general. They're not smart enough to realize that, you know, at the end of the day, they have a brand to protect, and the music that they create is what the people and their fans fell in love with. So the minute you try to switch it up, you know, it's no longer authentic, and you lose your fan base. You know, so I was always a believer of sticking to the sound and sticking to your own beliefs and who you are as an artist. And at the end of the day, you know, you might not be winning the type of music, might not be selling right now, but, you know, the game comes around full circle. And right now, it's the South's turn.
So let me ask you a question. If you're on a good run with your grind, right? You trying to get your brand up, and you got a good run going, and you got fans in every city, and a major label approaches you with a 360 deal, what decision would you make and why?
I mean, that's a tough question, because at the end of the day, 100% of nothing is nothing. And, you know, a lot of people, a lot of new artists, that's basically what they're working with, you know what I mean? Nothing. So if someone recognizes your talent and they're telling you, you know, we want to give you an opportunity to make money doing something you love, and we just want a certain percentage of that, at the end of the day, to turn that down, it's a difficult situation, because it's like, damn, that someone recognize my talent and give me an opportunity to do something I love for the rest of my life. And if you believe in yourself, you're going to believe that you're going to sell records. So, you know, it's a tough situation, but you know, it depends on the individual. Me personally, I wouldn't take it, because at the end of the day, I'm not pressed for money. I'm good, you know, I'm comfortable in my situation, and I would love to do music for the rest of my life, but with the way technology is right now, you can do that without a record deal or a major company behind you, you know. So you can't ask me that question and get a real answer, but I'm sure a majority of these artists out here, you know, they would jump on the 360 deal in a heartbeat, just because it's better than what their situation is right now.
So do you? Well, you know, you really did answer the question.
I didn't answer?
You did. You said you
I mean,
couldn't really give a real answer, but you did.
Nah, I mean, I personally wouldn't, because it's because my situation prior to music, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really need, I'm content with where I'm at. Like, I love doing music, and it would be great to do it, but I don't feel like I need to do it to change my lifestyle, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm good.
So you got any music out now currently, or are you working on anything?
I'm always working on something, but it's on my pace, you know what I mean? If I hear, it's rare, but if I hear a song that inspires me, or even just a beat, you know, it's my job to go look for that instrumental, and I'll download it or whatever, and I'll write to it. You know, I'm not pressed on a deadline or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, you keep doing that, you're going to have 5, 6, 7 joints, you know, and the next thing you know, you got 14, and it's like, you know what, let me just put out a little, I don't want to say mixtape, because everybody, you know, uses that word loosely, but I like to call it like a time capsule for me, because, you know, a lot of the music I write is basically stuff that I've been through or going through at the moment, so I look at it more like a time capsule for myself, and if other people feel it or relate to it, then, you know, that's great, but at the end of the day, it's more about you know, just speaking my opinion. Something I could personally look back on 10, 20 years from now, you know, and get a chuckle, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at. I got 8, 9 joints right now. You know, I'm going to just keep writing and hopefully get up to a good amount, 10, 12, whatever, until I feel I have something, a nice body of work. And then I might, you know, press up a CD or, you know, put some shit on the internet. And just for reaction, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I really always wanted, was the reaction of the fans, to hear them say, yo, this nigga's spitting, or this nigga's crazy, or you heard what he said. And that's satisfaction for me. You know, if I sell 10,000 records, if I sell 100 million, you know, it's more about me trying to change an outlook of somebody like, yo, this nigga say some shit, you know, I fucks with him. There's one thing when you got a fan telling you nice, and another thing when he says he feels you. And I just want the public to feel me, because, you know,
more personal that way.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the kind of music I prefer to do, and I prefer to listen to that kind of music as well. So at the end of the day, you know, you hear songs that dudes in the strip club dropping 50 racks and, you know, driving this car, and it's just like, I would respect it more if I heard how you got that to that point. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got a beginning, and if I knew your story, I would kind of respect it more. But, you know, I go on these websites and I hear, you know, they got all these videos of new music, and 9 times out of 10, I could just look at the title of the song and the freeze frame or the picture that they have on the video, and I'll know it's not something that I would want to listen to, because it's just like, you know, it's similar to shit that's...
It's monotonous.
You know what I mean? They got the woman in the picture, they got the money in their hand, well, you know, shit like that, and it's a strip club scene or whatever. But if it has something like, you know, Times is Hard as the title of the song, and the nigga in the video in the freeze frame got a hoodie on, I'll click on it, because I want to hear this man's story. But, you know, you got to tell me the story from the beginning. You can't just fast forward to the successful part.